Alright, I accidentally clicked in the wrong spot for the intro, but we got a way cooler part of the song, and maybe I'll use that from now on, because that's way up my alley as someone from New Jersey. Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast, when we're able to actually make it weekly. We actually have quite a few shows lined up at this week. We're going to focus on the most recent news, in that of the live letter number 56. We got our first teaser of patch 5.2, some Final Fantasy fan service surprises, as well as some stuff that maybe it'll get me to start fishing. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Happy, of course, and joining us is the man who moved and the man who made it so we had to kind of move the show around a little bit to accommodate Sly. Sly's here. He made it.
New house, who this?
New house, do this. Your microphone is way down from where it was when we were in pre-show. You gotta move it a little closer to your face. No, more. Maybe I just moved my headset. No. Hold on, let me turn my headset. Oh, no, you're fine. I accidentally turned my headset down, too. No, you're good.
See?
I think so. If not, I'll just turn you up myself. I don't care if people see the little volume slider on the screen. Look at that. Man, there you go. Hi, Sly.
God. Hi.
How's the new place?
How you doing? It's comfy. It's full of boxes right now. And I still have to unpack shit and put up curtains and do stuff.
Curtains?
But it's good.
Sly, you want a little bit of non-14 conversation real quick? We still have a box and a half that is still not unpacked from when we moved in April. That was 9 boxes until 3 days ago when Mel decided it was time.
I still have a bunch of boxes in storage that they're just going to stay there. Like, I'll just, keep paying the monthly rent on the storage, but, they'll just stay there. It's nothing important.
Yeah, I don't know if there was anything important. I found a pair of shoes, which is nice because my current pair is starting to tear at the back, so now I don't need to go buy new ones because they were in a box the whole time. Here we go.
Yeah.
Don't make the same mistake.
Ryan, no. This is not an empty room. It's full of shit. You just can't see half the shit. It is such a big streaming room that, like, a twin bed, I had to use to stage my old house because it needed, like, an empty room needed a bed and just for people to see what a bedroom looked like. It's in here because it's that fucking big. And then, like, behind me is the green screen. Where
will go? Because it's not there, clearly.
Yeah. There's the green screen, you can't see it, and the pictures you see, but you can't really see.
Because if you say there's a green screen behind you, people are going to think all of that behind you is green screened and is not real.
No.
And that's not the case.
It's real.
Well, I'm glad that your move went okay. We were going to do the show on Tuesday still this week, but your move got delayed till Tuesday, for anyone who's wondering why we're doing this on a Friday when we were pretty sure it wasn't going to be. But now we have a show. We've got a couple shows lined up, assuming we can round everything up for the holiday season, which is coming up. You and your Krema.
Yeah, Merry Krema.
It's not Krema yet. It'll be my birthday a week from today, though, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Turning 29. Yeah.
Woo, boy.
That's what I'm
almost
talking about.
there.
All right. Well, before we start talking about the live letter number 56, we have a few things to start the show with. First of all, of course, our sponsors, Steel Series, and they do the free giveaway. They do the giveaways every month, and we get winners every month. We had our last month's winner, Cool. He tweeted us with his prize selection.
Nice.
The November winner did indeed. It literally ended earlier today, so let's be responsible and announce who that winner was. And that winner was a Twitch user by the name of Haru0107. So now you understand what I said in pre-show where I saw Haru in the name and I was like, did Haru win a giveaway? No, it wasn't. It's different. It's not Haru Glory. It's another Haru, equally as cool, who is our winner for the November giveaway. So now I have to make sure the December one. Yes, congratulations. Now I have to make sure the December one is under the video properly for tomorrow because I messed that up in the first week or two of this month. So let's gotta make sure that get that level. But I'll be emailing you and asking you for the details so I can send you your prize. Probably won't come until after the New Year's, since now it's quite close to Christmas. This giveaway winner is being pulled. So get it to you as soon as possible. But thank you. And if you want to enter, be sure to check the YouTube description for the giveaway entry link. Or if you just want to buy some SteelSeries stuff, just use the discount code. Just there's a 10% discount code. Use it. Supports the channel, supports streams, supports State of the Realm. Oh, okay.
Save a little money.
Yes. Of course, we have our Patreon sponsors who get a more extended thank you towards the later end of the show. But we have one other thank you to do, Sly. I do, at least. You don't have it yet. Square Enix sent me something for the holidays. I saw Frosty tweet his, so I figured I might as well show mine live what they gave me and read the card. I'll proofread it first before, because I literally just opened this. So we got a nice bag. This will probably be something Mel uses more, to be honest. Because we have, this is something she would probably use as like a grocery bag. I could use it as a grocery bag. But yeah, it's a tote, essentially, a small little tote with Final Fantasy XIV. It says Fan Festival on it, too. And this one is the Tokyo bag, I just noticed, specifically.
Ooh.
Which I don't remember if I have this. I don't think I do. I don't think I have it, even though I went to the Tokyo Fan Festival. So, that is gift number one. Gift number two is exciting, because, well, I'll show you. He's so fluffy. Now I can take Eureka with me wherever I go. Thank you, Pagos. Now I've got Pagos with me everywhere. I hate it. No, I love it. Thank you. I love these things. These things were a bright spot and of the early part of Pagos. So thank you. And Sly, don't worry. You can show yours off when you get yours. When, they get it to the right house. All right. Aloha. It's not for you. All right. And then a card with a bunch there's a lot of signatures on here. Dear Happy, thank you so much for continuing to be a shining star within the 14 community. We sincerely hope this starlight brings you the utmost cheer this holiday season. We cannot wait to see what amazing content creation you have to bring to Final Fantasy XIV in 2020. Sincerely, the Final Fantasy XIV NA community team. P.S. OG Sark Buddies for life from Naruto. With a little face drawn on it. It's a face drawn. Nice. It's like I don't know. I have to show you separately, but you can it's really hard to see.
Yeah, I see it.
And then let me see if I can get it to show on the live stream properly. The picture. No, is that it? Is it over here? No, that's it. Yeah, it's just kind of hard to make out because it doesn't focus, but you can kind of tell what it is. And then, of course, it's got the signatures from everyone on the team. Some of them I can read and some of them I can't. Aya's is very clear. Voltanine's is very clear. Zexos drew a Subligar. That's a nice surprise. Is that Rinny? Yeah, I think that's Rinny down there. I've got Adam. Listen, Adam, I'm sorry, but your D looks like a C and an L next to each other, all right? There's a space between. This one I can't read. There's one I can't read, and then there's one that looks like it's two A's back to back, and I'm bad at reading. So, thank you. The real life blur. Kerning, no, that's fine. But thank you, Sly. I'll be sure to let you know how comfy this is, or Aloha will when he rips this thing to fucking shreds. Knowing him, Cat destroys everything except for our tree for some reason. All right, and with that, Sly, I think we're finally ready to talk about live letter number 56. I want to give Sly a shout out because he did show notes this week. I want to give you guys a heads up. I have not done show notes for the show in a long time because I just tell Sly what the show is about and we just go. Sly wrote out how many pages is this? 6 pages of show notes. Sly, that's what the digest is for. Why'd you do so much work?
I was in a hotel room and watching this, and I just...
So you were bored?
Sure.
How come when I asked if you were bored, you did? He said, no, that's not the reason. Now, if we're live, you're like, yeah, I was just bored.
I mean, I had beer with me, so I wasn't too bored.
Yeah. Once beer is involved, you're not very bored. I know that very well right now. So shout out to Sly for doing that. He got the live letter number wrong, but I can forgive that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what show number this is every week, so how can I judge? All right, so it was a hell of a live letter, Sly.
It was.
Despite it only being a part 1, there were some things with some genuine question marks, as well as discussion about whether some decisions were good or bad. We used the unofficial Reddit Discord. By now, the live letter official digest is out, so I have not checked it for any inconsistencies versus the unofficial translation. But Illuna Minori, who normally does the Reddit translations, did do that. And Carrier of Light, also Mogmog57, actually live translated all 14 hours on their Twitch channel.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's how we got some additional details that weren't part of the live letter regarding one event involving an apparatus around one's wrist, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy is right. Oh, boy is right. So thank you to Illuna Minori for the translations. We don't need a picture of FoxClon. Sin Eater Ric Flair. You wrote Sin Eater Ric Flair in the notes for FoxClon?
Yep.
I mean, I can't even say you're wrong because you're not, really. Sin Eater Ric Flair for FoxClon. All right. That's Forgiven Ric Flair? Forgiven Flair? Is that his name? Forgiven Embarrassment, sure. Maybe. Because that's how everyone felt sitting next to him.
That wasn't even the best part. The best part was later in the live.
Oh, with Soken. Yeah, I know that. That's a Reddit. That's if you're that's a Discord emote now on the Final Fantasy XIV Reddit. The Soken Arrive emote. Oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. So the first thing they announced is their new PR is it's 18 million adventures worldwide for Final Fantasy XIV. Of course, this is not concurrent subscribers. It means accounts made. I forget what all the other stipulations are. But I do gotta say, Sly, wasn't it just changed to 16 million a few months ago? From 14 million?
Yeah, we're growing.
Yeah, that's
getting bigger.
That's pretty. It's still in regards to every time that Final Fantasy XIV's had to embolden that that PR shtick, which is obviously again since it's not active subscribers, it's a little misleading, but it's still the rate of acceleration is quite interesting in regards to Shadowbringers launch and onward. I wonder where we are in terms of concurrent subscribers. I haven't seen a Lucky Bancho.
I'm waiting on that data.
The last one I saw, we were over 1 million, but I don't know. I don't remember how long ago that was.
Because I love to pick the Lucky Bancho data apart anyway. So yeah, I'm waiting on that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's posted. I saw somebody mention him not too long ago, so maybe he did do a post on his personal blog, and I just didn't see it. But I didn't see it on Reddit, and if I don't see it there, to be honest, I don't see it. That's the truth of it. But then we got going into 5.18 a little bit. We got a little more information on that today, actually, through the Lodestone blogs. This is the usual 0.18 before the next patch. Weekly restrictions for Savage are going to be removed. The manufactured coins from the 24-man can be used to buy solvents, which allow you to make the weapon. Is it make the weapon or is it upgrade the weapon? It's upgrade the weapon, isn't it?
Upgrade the weapon.
Yeah, it's upgrade the weapon if you have it. And it's also starting the next season of The Feast, which we got a little bit more information about today. So apparently they weren't going to start the next Feast season until 5.2. But everyone was like, please, we need season 14. So they are doing season 14 early, but it has less rewards than a traditional Feast season. The wolf collars, for example, for placing in like bronze, silver, gold, they're not there. None of the rewards from the wolf collars are there as well.
Honestly, this is going to make a lot of people mad, especially in the PvP community. I honestly think he should have been patient.
I see. For me, I don't know which boat I'm in. I don't know if I'm in the boat of I'd rather delay it. Like if they see people
delay it and get less rewards.
Well,
yeah,
delay it and get more rewards. You mean like
more rewards? Excuse me.
Yeah. The big thing for me is why has it taken almost 2 major patches to get Feast rewards in place? I'm gonna assume whoever's working on weapons and modeling and whatnot has just had other priorities, but the reason we were asking for it is because it seemed to be taking an abnormally long amount of time to start the next feast season going into Shadowbringers. So for me, it's just given the only way it could have happened is 5.2, I would have preferred have the wolf collars in place, have the usual reward structure in place, wait another patch, or wait another couple of months or so, and be good with it. But now it's just a trophy and a mount. The mount is pretty dope though. But remember, you only get a mount for I think top 100 in each data center. I think it is top 100. Question mark?
Acceptable.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're not in top 100, there's no point in PvPing the season unless you. I mean, actually, that's not true because if you get to a high rank this season, if you get to a decent rank, when you start the next season, you'll carry some of your starting rank over. So I guess that could be a decent enough reason. Yeah, but the mount is, I think, the second boss from Gimlet Dark as a mount, which is it looks really cool. It's just I still kind of wish wolf collars could be used to buy the mounts. Just it takes multiple seasons if your rank is shit. Yeah. It'd be cool. I mean, that's just the casual PvPer in me wanting something. I still think it's cool that there's something only the top 100 could get. But a part of me is also just like, I got Ozma. I'm fine. It's fine. I got Ozma. I'm okay with that. I'll walk away. There's a lot of confusion though about the feast. At the live letter there was a mention of Ninja being nerfed, but they were talking about PvP. Not normal.
Yeah, that was the confusion. That was the confusion, I think, when I was first watching the live letter.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh, come on, you just fixed them," and it's like, no. Yeah, Ninja is really strong in specifically front lines right now. I don't know how it fares in the Feast, but I'd assume that power would translate quite well into a 4v4 scenario.
Yeah.
We also found out they're fast tracking every team always being random now. It doesn't matter what Grand Company you're a part of, you are always freelanced in 5.18. So you can't have everyone.
No.
Because Sly, this needed to happen.
I don't like change. No. The internet.
All right, you're mocking me.
I am the internet. No, I don't like this fucking change. No, I don't want to be freelance. Fuck no.
Too bad. You know what's happening right now? The front lines are being decimated because entire data centers are stacking in one side, and there's no point. If you're either a part of that side and then no one's on the other team, so there's no queue.
We need PvP statistics. We really do.
We probably don't want those.
No, we really do. Yes. You make that face, but yes, I want to see PvP.
Sly, there are some things we don't want to have to grapple with reality with, and this might be one of them. I don't know that we want to grapple with the reality of PvP statistics. Oh, man. Yeah, but it's going to be forced freelance to stop that because it's become such a rampant problem. On Ether, it's a huge problem. I've heard it's less of a problem on the other data centers, but on Ether, it is a massive problem. Everyone's
yeah, you're right.
Sly, there's a screenshot on I think the front page.
Well, for us, it's majority is Maelstrom, I think.
I wonder if Crystal's adders round it all out.
Yeah.
Dude, one day when we have cross data center queues, won't have to worry about it. We'll all be even. There we go. Mm-hmm. One day. But they're fast tracking that, which I think really needs to happen. I'm glad they also put it out there that they're doing that, because the way it's happening right now is just, it's rough. It's really rough if you're not part of that. God damn it, Sly. Oh, man. Grand Company adjustments, they were very unclear about that.
Yeah, I was confused about this as well in terms of what they are adjusting.
So a lot of veteran players may not think like this, but the Grand Company and upgrading it as a new player is something I've known almost nothing about. Most new players have no idea that Second Lieutenant in the Grand Company exists and need to figure it out or ask someone. So two things could happen here. One, adding a permanent exclamation mark as long as there's a Grand Company rank for you to go up as an alert system over the NPC. Two, probably lowering the amount of seals that you need, because it's still like 2,500, 3,000. Like, you need to be doing fates in your Grand Company log and a few other things in order to properly rank up. I have a feeling they're gonna just drop that down like they did with the Chocobo cost. So that's what I think they're going to do. I don't know if you have any other thoughts.
I was thinking in terms of the Grand Company actions allowing another action.
So that I think they're going to do, because this is Grand Company adjustments. We know that in 5.2 they're raising the FC rank. And the FC rank is what's tied with the actions.
But I thought it was tied to Grand.
Well, you purchase them with FC points and
points.
Yeah, but no, yeah, that's an FC thing. I think. Well, we'll talk about that later. But I do agree with you on that to some degree. Well, for the topic we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
He spent 6 minutes talking about this next thing. 2B's outfit's ass. So the best gif that came out of this live letter was actually not the Soken thing. It was watching Yoshi P do this for 5 minutes.
I felt like I was watching a 90s hip-hop video.
Yeah, because
it was so good.
We're listening to him in Japanese, but he's speaking about the shape of the ass and how it just didn't turn out right. And now they rescinded the ass to give us a better ass, essentially.
Anyone in their community, can you take that clip and then, put it to Sir Mix-a-Lot?
Yeah.
Anybody. Please make that happen.
God damn it. Yeah. But he spent so much time talking about it. Like, I was like, is he still talking about the ass? And then the whole translation came out, and I'm like, he was still talking about the ass. They had to redact that ass to then provide us a better ass.
If we stay on this topic any longer, we're going to need an ass counter.
I mean, we probably need one anyway, to be fair, but, it was just such a weird thing to spend so much time of a 2-hour live letter on. But everyone was really happy to hear the ass is coming. The ass is saved. And you know what? The best thing was he was like, everyone's been freaking out about this, especially on Reddit. I was like, God damn it. Reddit, the ass is saved. That's it. I like the acknowledgement. And then going back to PvP, they said there'll be some PvP action adjustments as well. I mean, we already spoke about Ninja, but there'll probably be some other things as well. That's going to be December 24th. That's 4 days from now. They said there's a chance it gets pushed back, but for now, we're still operating under the assumption it'll be on Krima Eve when all this goes live. But then they started talking about patch 5.2. And things got very interesting here.
Fallen Star.
So Echoes of a Fallen Star, you think that's just a reference back to, Amarot days? I think that's all it is. I don't think it has anything to do with, the Void or the First or anything.
I was hoping it would deal with the Void.
I mean, we all want it to, but Echoes of a Fallen... I mean, they also said that the Echo term was especially important.
Right, but whose Echo would we be viewing?
Well, we still don't even really understand. Like, every time we think we know the Echo, the story kind of throws a wrench in that. Like, I mean, we just learned that we didn't understand the soul. We even going back to 2.3, we didn't understand how the Echo worked. And we keep we don't even really know what it is, because it's not like we're the only ones who can use it. But it's just this special power that, it's like we know what the source of it is, but why and how, and there's a lot of question marks about it. And I think that's going to be answered when we go to the Anamnesis Anitor, which is our new dungeon in patch 5.2, which they specifically mention it's like a court of some sort. It's, it's
Night court.
Yeah, it's like a court of sense. But this is big topic number 1. We got an official announcement about dungeons in the 5.2 live letter part 1.
Yes.
Would you like to tell the people what it is?
1 dungeon a patch from 5.2 onward. So yeah, this means that we're possibly done with hard mode dungeons, which, I mean, to be fair, when's the last time we got a hard mode dungeon?
Would be St. Mosion's in 0.4. St. Mocion's Arboretum hard mode would be the last one. Unless I'm mistaken, I'm fairly certain that that's correct.
So are you a fan of this, or do you like the way things are now? Or were you expecting?
I don't care. They're dungeons.
They're dungeon. Yes, but dungeons are interesting. I mean, again, this is the shit you're doing in your experts.
What expert? What expert do I haven't done an expert in months. I did the Grand Cosmos once, Sly.
I'm speaking in okay, for the community.
No,
this
you're
is the
not.
Shit shut up. This is the shit they're doing for experts.
No, they're not. No, they are. No, a lot of people do expert, guys. I'm fucking with him. A lot of people do expert.
Yes. So, I mean, there's a pool. There's a pool of source material that they could use and transform it into a better dungeon. And I feel like with this, we'll be missing out on some possibilities that we kind of like delved into in the past that could have been really good dungeons, honestly.
Sly, at the end of the day, if they want me to know something about a place, they have many ways of letting me know about why a place exists, what it's all about, and maybe going in it one day would be a cool thing, whether it be a deep dungeon, a normal dungeon, a trial, whatever. The actual gameplay loop of dungeons, I don't care. I will do this dungeon a single time and never do it again. I'm sorry, I have two characters that I actually have to pay attention to now. I will do it twice, and then I will never care again. That is how Grand Cosmos worked for me. That is how this is going to work for me. It doesn't matter if I think a dungeon has amazing music, if I think the bosses are somewhat okay or cool, or like the twinning with the last boss. Oh my god, mind-blowing. I loved it. But I don't love doing it again and again and again. We have so many dungeons in this game. I just don't care if we don't get more than one dungeon a patch. I don't.
Fair.
There's plenty of other things for me to do in this game, Sly. I do hunt trains every day for tomestones, so I don't touch dungeons, essentially. It's cool.
But it's a part of the landscape.
You know what I will say, though? I do roulettes fairly often. And so any old dungeon that I don't do now, eventually I end up seeing them there. And it's a nice surprise occasionally. But I don't care otherwise. Like, I'll learn the lore of the dungeons that are there and be done. And there's other things we have to talk about in this that could be valid reasons to no longer have a dungeon. We don't know exactly how the resources get moved around. Everyone likes to speculate on it. And we'll do the same. The Anamnesis Anitor, new dungeon. It's in the Amarot. I'm glad they're going with another Amarottian dungeon, at the very least. Because I think of all the things we want to know and understand right now, that society is still kind of at the top of the list. Of course, we have new main scenario quests. We're approaching the end of the Shadowbringer story itself, which should be finalizing.
This always pisses me off a little bit.
Why?
A little bit. It feels like stuff's ending too early for me. I don't know.
That's just because you want more.
Yeah, I do. I honestly do. Like stories like this, especially this story, I want more. And it feels like, I mean, I know we're setting up for the next expansion and everything, but it feels like you're setting up a little too early.
It's the same as every expansion. We're always done by point 3. No, Sly. Only A Realm Reborn wasn't, because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They were just like, just keep putting primals. I don't know. Just there's what primals? We got Ramu and Shiva. Okay, Ramu's this one. All right.
Then we wouldn't have what we're about to get in Eden. We'll talk about that later.
We will talk about that. There you go. So moving on, we have the one dungeon per patch. So obviously now the rest of the live letter, knowing there's only one dungeon per patch, now everyone looks at everything else. They go, okay, where's that other dungeon going? Because we're used to getting 2 dungeons in even-numbered patches in particular. And there's also questions of the expert roulette now, of what it actually uses. Is it going to be 5.1 and 5.2? Is it going to be all the dungeons of 5.0 to 5.2? Are they just never going to cycle out max-level dungeons anymore? I would like that. If this change leads to all of the max-level dungeons being part of the expert, the whole expansion, and they just keep adding, I would love that. Just putting that out there, because the roulette, having 2 dungeons in the roulette, historically has been the worst feeling thing about that roulette. 3 is like a nice minimum, and if they have 4 or more, oh man, that's a roulette that's a lot more fun doing if there's more than fucking 2 dungeons in it. So, new main scenario quest. New Beast Tribe. This was our first surprise, really. For me, I didn't give a fuck about the dungeon thing. That was the biggest surprise for some people. This was my biggest surprise. For so long, I have been confident it was going to be the Pixies, the Numo, and the Dwarfs. No. That's gone. That's prediction. That, based on the fan fests, based on the way they've done them for every expansion, is now gone. We got the Qitari.
The Kagirn of the First.
This isn't as surprising as we think.
Why not?
Because they were going to do the Kikern in Stormblood and replace them with the Namazu. So they already had the idea to use the Kikern in recent times.
But it comes out of nowhere because we never saw them anywhere when we were leveling, when we were going through main.
That means we have the most lore to learn.
Yep.
That's the way I look at it. That means I'm going in knowing as little as possible about them and learning the most I can possibly learn. Whereas the Pixies we knew so much about, and now we had this story that was more personal to the Pixies we were dealing with and with Lee Meg. I am very interested to learn more about the Qitari, because by extension, while the Qitari clearly are a different culture, having been in the First for the last 100 years and, since the Flood, we might pick some things up about the Kikerns along the way. Because this also means we're probably never going to get anything more interesting on our Kikerns back on the source.
Yeah, true.
I'm ready.
I was kind of hoping that something would run parallel to the source in terms of lore, but
they could. Who's to say? I don't think it will, but it totally could. This is also going to be our first ever Gathering exclusive Beast Tribe quest. Now, this was interesting because they told us in the live letter prior to this that they were thinking of only doing 1 combat tribe this expansion. And I guess now we know. This one will be Gathering, and the next one will almost definitely be Crafting.
I'm still sticking out that the dwarves will be the Crafting.
I really want them to be because of Kamra. Yeah. I really want to turn Kamra into, something cooler, something better. I don't know.
I mean, it could have possibly went either way with the way, with what we see.
I want it to be Kamra, but at this point, I'm throwing it out the window. It could be anything, especially because in the background art for 5.2, you see Numo crafting with somebody. That really confused me. I was like, so there's a Numo crafting behind with that person. Oh, well, clearly the Numo's a crafting tribe, and then here's the Qitari, it's a Gathering tribe, and I'm like, all right, I'm down. I like being wrong. Being wrong is way better for me than being right when it comes to Final Fantasy XIV most of the time. It's more exciting that way.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised.
Yes.
And I think we were all pleasantly surprised by this next bit.
Yeah, I was really surprised by this one.
Now, let me just preface. A lot of your hype for Remake. I get it. It was your jam.
7 is not my jam, by the way. I'm not a huge 7 fan.
Same. Me, man.
I like it, but it's certainly not in my top 3.
Yep.
That doesn't change how I feel about this, though.
It's pretty exciting, though. So we're getting the Chronicles of a New Era quest called the Sorrow of Werlit.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that just like other stuff in Ilsabard, like Gimlet, it's what is that? That's Rugadin naming conventions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember if that's the proper lore for it. So I'm assuming it's another area adjacent to Gimlet.
Mm-hmm.
The Sorrow of Werlit. How many more lits are there going to be? It's all lit.
Everything lit.
Yeah.
But we get a few pictures. We get a picture of Gaius speaking to, I forget who those people were.
3 Auras, which are oddly wearing Allagan armor sets, I'd like to point out.
Yeah. I'm thinking they look familiar. Like, one of them looked familiar. Like, we've seen them in a cutscene somewhere, but it might be new. I don't know. We see that pic, and that's good. That's nice. Like, we're getting more Gaius. Ethis will be thrilled.
Gaius is,
Then,
I almost called Ethis Gaius. Ethis is going to have a massive erection just from this entire series existing.
Yeah. Then that next pic.
Yeah, there's a pic of this mean-looking thing that anyone who's played some classic Final Fantasy games might fucking recognize.
Ah, fuck.
The Ruby Weapon!
Whirl Sand Boys.
Yeah, that's going to be our new theme for the Trials, this expansion. It is going to be the weapons.
Weapons.
Now, if I had to make an assumption lore-wise, in the Escape in 5.1, we got to see the Garleans have been taking Allagan technology and trying to, feels like almost attach bioorganic life to it in order to control it. And we got to fight an Ultima equivalent, which is one of the 4 weapons you actually get to fight in 7. There's more than 4, but there's 4 that you specifically get to fight.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that was our lead-in, and then the Gaius is fucking off someplace else. I have no idea what he's up to. Is always the classic tell of something more nefarious. And this is it. This is probably part of the War of Succession. The Garlean weapons being used as a means of trying to subjugate the other Garleans. That's my guess. There's nothing set in stone there. That's what I think at the very least. That's exciting.
I mean, I wasn't going War of Succession experimentation, yes, based on what we saw in Estinian's Echo flashback with the one weapon that we did see, who had a
Garland.
There was a person on top.
Yeah, that's what I say. Be merging bioorganic life to the weapons to control them.
Yeah. So
Ruby Emerald.
Yeah, I just think it'll be more experimentation. They may go another way, but we'll probably get like a little bit of experimentation before I think one is standalone. One of them I think will be standalone.
I just want Gaius to take over as the big daddy. That's it. He needs to be the big daddy of I've been saying that Gaius is going to ascend the throne of Garlemald at some point. That's been my working theory. And stopping 3 super weapons that are likely being made. Here's the thing. I think we're going to fight Ruby, Emerald, and Diamond. I don't know if in that order. I only know it's Ruby first. I think Emerald would probably be the best one to do last. But I mean, to be fair, Diamond, while it was a story fight in 7, that motherfucker was way more intimidating to me than Emerald. Emerald just had the status of super boss.
Yeah.
And Ruby's first. So I think Diamond, I think it's likely it'll be last. I don't think we'll fight Sapphire. He got his head blown off by a cannon. But I do think we might see Sapphire weapon.
Within the story?
Yeah, maybe he'll get his head blown off by a big-ass cannon. Who the fuck knows? But I think we're going to fight Ruby, Emerald, Diamond. So I'm pretty hyped to see how they interpret these. Because I wanted the 4 fiends, and I'm not disappointed at all with this being a way. And it's also weird because we're going back to the source. All this is back on the source. Everything we've been doing so far, other than Epic of Alexander, has been on.
We finally get Meanwhile at the Legion of Doom. Thank God.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, someone's like, I wonder if Ruby Weapon, people are just going to kill off 7 party members so they don't get whirl sanded. Guys, I got this. Just kill yourselves so we make sure that I don't get taken by the whirl sand. That's fucked up, man. I don't think it's going to work that way. I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think they would start including ultimate type shit in just regular trials where people get ejected and they are permanently
That shit's fun.
Yeah.
That shit's fun.
I agree. I would love to see it. I don't think they will, though.
Come on. So also means a Ruby mount. I guess a Ruby, what are they? Wyvern. There you go. Ruby Wyvern would be the mount. We'll get an extreme version of it. I think that's going to be the only thing is people are going to like see Ruby Weapon and be, oh, it's an EX trial, and then we shit on it in under an hour, and it's like some Ruby Weapon.
Oh, yeah. See you next patch. I guess.
There you go. But there's also something else. Yeah.
There's more. But there is a secret trial. I mean, it had the word secret over it. And, like, we didn't get a hint, did we? Like, no kind of hint.
In the digest, it straight up says they will say nothing until you do it. Like, that's it. They're not going to, they're never going to, they'll acknowledge that it's there, but they will not tell us what it is.
Now, it's easy. The easy route would be to assume that this would be Hildebrand.
But they didn't mention Hildebrand in this live letter.
They did not.
I think it's a main scenario trial. I think it's like a Chrysalis / Steps of Faith, just a one-off trial. Maybe has a minion as a reward.
I like those. I love those.
There's always a question mark of doing them repeatedly. That's always the concern that people have is, you know, after the first few days, after the first week, is putting something together to do it again. But yeah, I'm assuming here's the thing. Hildebrand, they would totally keep a secret. But if it was part of Hildebrand, I feel like they'd have announced Hildebrand.
Yeah. But to be honest, I really wouldn't want a Hildebrand trial because I feel like the Hildebrand trials are a little bit, I mean, fun fights, but lighthearted. They're funny, but they're lighthearted in comparison to your normal trials and everything like that.
How many more times can we fight Gilgamesh, Sly? How many more times?
I mean, he's
mind controlled right now, so
he's mind controlled and he can go wherever he wants.
He sure has. Yeah, I think it's going to be just a one-off main scenario. The question is, does that... I'd like to assume 5.3 has a trial plus EX trial, like, you know, Nidhogg and Tsukiyomi and whatnot. But then does this get an EX at some point? Like, what? I guess the thing is, without knowing what kind of trial it is it always just going to be like a Chrysalis one-off, or are they going to do something else with it?
Right.
That's the question.
I believe he knows that we would want an EX version just because we're masochist.
Me more than others, but yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly a masochist at some degree. Yeah, I'm putting my money on main scenario trial for this.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone's complaining about your dungeon, fuck it. There's your dungeon. It's that thing. As far as I'm concerned, if we're gonna have to have the conversation about where are the resources from the dungeon, that's it. That extra trial, that's your dungeon for 5.2. Okay. Straying from the formula. Isn't that what everyone wants? Yeah. Well, here you go. All right. Next up, Eden's verse, which as soon as I heard that, I couldn't help but say into the Eden verse and imagine it in Can somebody do that? Could someone make like a Spider-Verse art style like Eden picture? Could someone just draw that? Yeah, just draw it. Totally doesn't take any major artistic skill, I promise.
What's up, Danger?
Yeah, instead of Into the Spider-Verse, it's Enter the Eden verse. There you go. It's perfect. It's not even Eden verse. It's Eden's verse, like a song. You know? But fuck it. I don't care.
So, we're getting normal and savage together.
Which is normal for those of you who haven't been around before. In 0.2 and 0.4, they usually release at the same time.
Yeah. But we got a pick of what looks to be the, like you said, and I went there too immediately when I first saw it. Looks to be the Thunder Plains from 10, which is one of my favorites, actually. So, it can go, it's obviously going to be Ramuh. That's
Sly,
the obvious choice.
Have you seen what our imagination can do?
Yeah. And I was thinking about that too. So if we're doing Thunder Plains, you know, Thunder, Ramuh, fine. But we only associate our primal, like our Thunder primal, as Ramuh. But we know other Thunder shit too. What if they did
that's very particular to Final Fantasy X?
Yeah. Yeah, what if they did a hybrid, either a hybrid Ramuh or Ixion, or somehow Ixion?
He's gonna be a fucking centaur. He's gonna be like top half like Rhalgr, giant beard with a fucking like big ass sword, and his bottom half is gonna be Ixion.
Yep.
I'm calling it now. He's gonna be a fucking centaur with Ramuh slash Rhalgr slash Ixion. Since Ramuh's the what are they called? The leaf fucks. Those guys, the sylphs.
I mean, they did Odin. They did Odin with Sleipnir. They could do Ramuh on Ixion.
Nah, just make him a fucking centaur. Just don't. I don't want him to ride Ixion. I want him to be a fucking centaur. Okay, a huge bearded centaur.
Yeah, that is a good idea. What if we misremember shit and we start remembering Odin alongside Ramuh?
People have suggested that if we're seeing it as a centaur, then we suddenly think of Odin, and then you got that thrown in there as well. So, dude, after Titan, like Leviathan, I could justify that. Then Titan happened. I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going through my brain, but now I'm going to be questioning that for the rest of Eden. I will say one thing about this. I hope he's not the last boss. I just don't want him to be.
I don't think he will be.
I don't think he will be either. I think I'm actually surprised they even showed us the Thunder Plains. I really thought they were going to keep us entirely in the dark about what they were going to do primal wise. The fact that they've even teased one of them is mind blowing to me.
So I think you and I were in agreement in terms of what we think the final boss is.
I think so as well.
So we're pretty much in agreement that Shiva will probably be the final boss.
She deserves it the most. If she's not, I'll be upset because I think she deserves it more than anyone else. I think Ramuh, you could argue, maybe deserves it, but I think Shiva deserves it the most. Because those are some painstaking memories that she has to be recreated from. That is not an easy thing. Like, Ramuh is just like, yeah, I'm not a dick like the rest of the primals, but, like, come on.
So if we're getting a Thunder Plane from Tin, or what are we getting? Macchiato for Shiva?
No, the thing is, I feel like a Shiva Hraesvelgr sort of dichotomy would be more likely. Iceheart, Shiva, Ysayle, like something with Hraesvelgr, I feel like is very likely, because I can't imagine not thinking of Shiva and Hraesvelgr almost like. I mean, Dragon Song is literally about Shiva and Hraesvelgr. It's a story of those two. So it's like, it's just the idea of not having that would just make me sad. Shiva with fucking dragon wings. I'm fucking ready for that. I really hope it is. I'm really excited to see all the interpretations. I personally just want Shiva to be the last fight. I think they could be so sad and so satisfying at the same time. So, fingers crossed.
Here's hoping.
The next thing that we get to talk about is way more exciting, though. New relic weapons! Hey, listen, not just new relic weapons. They said new armor new gear advancement, I believe was the exact term they used. Gear advancement.
Woo!
Sly, let's talk about it for a second, all right? So, we're gonna be focusing around the story of the Bosja Citadel, the home of the Hrothgar. Sly, this is the exciting part.
That's the part I'm interested in. That's the only part I'm interested in, and I hate that they put it with this shit.
Have you done the Gunbreaker quest, Sly?
No.
Then don't fucking complain, because the fucking Gunbreaker quest deals with this shit. You already have some Bosja Citadel lore that you're ignoring. Motherfucker. So this will be starting in the 5.2 series. It's not clear whether it'll be 5.25. It probably won't be 5.2. It'll probably be 5.25. I fucking look at the camera, Sly. Get over here. Stop looking at porn. I see those titties. Stop looking at them. Stop it. This is a PG show. Okay, that got him to look at the camera, was that statement.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And they said the most interesting thing, because they didn't go into, there's an exploration zone. Yeah, like there was no Eureka, yada yada, blowing everything up, making it seem like this whole huge thing. They just said it'll focus around Bosra Citadel, and it will most likely be independent and individual, meaning probably something more like the old relic.
Which I'm half and half on. What step of the relic are we talking?
Atmas.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can keep going.
All right. I'm wondering if it's not still an exploration zone, because it seemed like they were at least somewhat balancing on the idea of doing an exploration zone, but they might just make it less of a, group effort.
But here's the whole snafu with that. We're getting Diadem back.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with exploration zone,
Yeah.
Sly. We're just gathering there.
We're gathering, but again, in terms of development, redoing Diadem plus making a new exploration zone.
Sly, the Diadem's still going to be the same layout. We already saw the map. It's just if we do diff, we just gather instead.
Okay. All right.
Sly, I'm going to read you something from the official digest. The new upgradable equipment content will be centered around Bosra Citadel, the home of the Hrothgar race. In 4.x, exploration and upgradable equipment were released as one in the form of the Forbidden Land Eureka and the Eureka weapon. While they were not completely separated in 5.x, we're thinking of a design where you can progress one without the other. We're planning to reveal the title of the series in the 5.2 special part 2.
Okay. All right.
That is a very interesting direct translation, because it implies that they may make parts of our relic involved in exploration, but that they are not mutually exclusive, which is what I wanted as a middle ground between the two. Because when I interviewed Yoshi P in Japan, he specifically said they were torn about what to do with the relic. Actually, that wasn't the Japan interview. I think that was the Mediator interview. But they said they didn't know, they were torn because people like the old one and people like the new one. It was 50-50.
People like certain aspects of the old one and certain aspects of the new one. It wasn't complete. Okay, what about let's go. Since you brought that as an example, what about Atma did you like?
Laughing at the people who had bad luck.
Okay.
Also, skipping the Heavensward Atmas.
I feel like this is so easy, but what about Eureka did you like?
So I have to break that down per zone. Onimos was just kind of chill. People talked and shout chat. It didn't require a whole lot of thinking. It was also really quick to do more than one weapon. It took me like 15-20 hours to do the first, and everyone after that was like 5 hours. It was super easy. Pagos sucked at first. They eventually made it less of a pain in the ass. Still definitely the worst step of the bunch, and not a model I would replicate. I like things like the Eureka effect being added to gear. I think that's something they should even do for Blue Mage, where they add like unique Blue Mage effects to Blue Mage stuff, like the weapon, which otherwise only has 2 materia slots. And then Pyros was a complete turnaround, a lot of discovery in the form of the Logos actions, ways to completely break the zone, the reflect farming, the catastrophe stuff with like the 1 million damage explosions coming out of a warrior. It was stuff like that was great. And then it was easy to farm, easy to make gil. And Hydatos a little bit more the same. Takes too long to get crystals in Hydatos, and they still haven't really fixed it in regards to making relics and Shadowbringers, because you still need the final boss, Provident Watcher. But then I loved Baldesion Arsenal, and there's still groups to this day that form because of Baldesion Arsenal as content. Tequila was doing it the other day. He got to like 14% on Ozma. The fact that that's still such a big thing is like, that's great. Just nothing related to Pagos.
Yeah.
So just do that and we'll be fine. And if they make it more individualized, then it takes a lot of the struggle out, because the biggest problem with places like Pagos is you're useless alone. I think having the ability to log in and spend an hour or two on your relic and not really stress about it was a big thing for the relic before Eureka. You could log in, I'll just do my roulettes today and make some relic progress. I only have an hour or two. Couldn't do that with Eureka. It just wasn't a way to play it. And so getting that aspect back, I think, is the most important thing for the relic. I don't think that means we can't have a new exploration zone. That's how I feel.
Okay.
I feel like that's a leveled response.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Eureka? Leveled response, Sly. Leveled response.
Fuck people.
Oh, man. It's okay. It's not for everyone, Sly. It's people. Just that statement makes me feel a lot better. The actual official statement. There's a lot less questions involved in that one. And we'll learn more in the patch 5.2 part 2 special. Job-related adjustments. Red Mage was called out by name, and they said there will be other job adjustments too. I think that's among the most important ones. I think that right now that's the only job people look at and go, no. Yeah. Not that you can't do stuff with it, but it's so clearly a downgrade compared to the other two casters that's kind of unfortunate.
Right.
I still think range physical needs,
but
a little bit.
When it comes down to it, I feel like the casters have their own identity, and I think putting them, a little bit on par, but keeping them beneath the other two, keeping red mages beneath the other two casters, is still the identity. We all know that black mages are there are exploding gods, and then summoners got a buff and whatnot. And okay,
I'd have agreed with you prior to 5.1 summoner.
Okay.
Then 5.1 summoner happened. Gloves are off. They are all going to be that strong. I have a feeling Red Mage is going to see a substantial increase. To put it close.
I agree. To put it close, but it's still, in comparison to the other two, it would still be behind, in my opinion.
If it's behind, it's no more than a couple 100 points, dude. That's how I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to want all the casters around the same spot. I just think that at that point, range physical really does need a minor bump. And they said other job changes. It could be a couple of minor bumps for the range physical. It's just a little bit of potency here, a little bit of potency there. It could be, but we don't know. I think red mages need it the most. I think the only job that gets memed on right now is red. I mean, look at what Sphia did. You know what Sphia did, right?
No.
He, on his first Epic of Alexander Reclear, he bought the red mage weapon, tried to sell it to a vendor. The vendor says, no, I don't accept it, so he dropped it on the ground and turned his stream off.
That sounds like some shit he would do.
It's some shit he did do. What are you
Oh, God. What the fuck? I've got to ask him about that. Holy shit. I need to watch that.
It's pretty great. Please. He's like, all right, see ya. He's like, oh, I can't sell it? I think he tried to sell it to the Doman Enclave, too, to get more gil out of it. To get the most out of his investment.
Oh, my God.
Might as well try to sell it for... And then they're like, sorry, sir, we don't accept that item. It's like, well, the floor does. The floor accepts two things. My red mage sword and dragoons. That's all the floor accepts.
Oh, fuck.
Well, maybe he should have kept it now. It's gonna be really fucking funny if it ends up being red mage just really, really fucking good.
He'll get it on another reclear.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not worried.
Yeah. PvP updates. Did we already mention that? That was the next thing in the official. Let me go back to our notes here. Ishgard Restoration.
Yes.
They went very in detail about all the gathering and crafting stuff happening in
5.2. And I'm glad they did, because a lot of people were assuming in the first iteration of Ishgard Restoration, that was it. That basically what it was. And a lot of people were confused about that, and I'm like, no, that's not what they spoke about at the live letters and the media tours and things like that. That's not competitive at all. It's just you're building a barn. That's it.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
That's basically it. All these things that we're getting with Ishgard, I am a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of. And we'll go into details, starting with changes to Daedom. It's coming back, boys.
Yeah, third time's a fucking charm.
Yeah.
So this is officially the second Gathering exclusive content of this patch. And we're still have one more actual Gather exclusive content coming this patch to talk about.
I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad that they're centering stuff around Gatherers, because Gatherers don't really have anything. They started to roll that out in the first part of Ishgard, and allowing Gatherers to contribute and whatnot in their own way. This is better, and I hope and pray that Gatherers get more content centered around them, the Beast Tribe, things like that. Hell, even more. And we haven't gotten to the best part about that yet, but we'll hold that off.
I know what part that is that you're because you bolded it, so I know which part you're talking about. Yeah, so Diadem's just a gathering island this time. Can be used as leveling method as long as you can get to the NPC in Ishgard. Go as early as level 10. Level 10. So yeah, very, very early access to it as a leveling option as a gatherer. And you're going in
and I'm wondering...
Yeah?
I'm wondering how much XP we're talking about.
Have you seen how good Ishgard is? Have you seen how
good it
is?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If it's anything like what Ishgard is, shit, you're not even going to be leveling that long. Nope. Think of it as Blue Mage leveling. Have fun.
Yeah, that's not wrong at all.
Have a fun hour.
Yeah, so it's exclusively used to make items for restoration. Or at least that's what they've told us. I still am of the opinion we'll see something not Ishgard related in there. I just feel like it'd be a waste to not stick some new regular gathering items in there too. Sky Builder scripts, you gather while moving island to island. I wonder exactly what it is that they're trying to do to encourage you to go island to island. I wonder if the gauge we're going to talk about doesn't charge.
I don't see why you wouldn't. I don't see why you wouldn't naturally.
I mean, I guess it depends on what each island offers. Like, does each island offer a different material? Is there like is there specifically you need to?
Is there a timer? Is
there a timer on the islands? Yeah, there's some sort of system in place that's probably going to actually make you fly island to island and not stick to one island. There's going to be some enemies in there, but they won't attack you. So they're wildlife essentially. But as you're going through, you charge the Gatherer limit break. So, I'd like to point out that Gatherers got limit breaks before Blue Mage. Just saying. All right? Just putting that out there. Gatherers got limit breaks before Blue Mages. They're not limited, so they get theirs. All right? Crafters are next. Okay? And after you charge up the gauge to use your Aetheromatic Auger, which is your limit break, you use a fucking rocket launcher on an enemy to get items off of it.
Ta-da.
That's my headcanon, that it's a rocket launcher.
Okay.
So, gathering limit break. That's all. They show them using it in the slide on a golem, I think.
Yeah.
As for the crafting parts, a new tier of recipes called expert recipes.
Experts.
We had, master recipes. We had unique recipes. Now we got expert recipes.
And these will be more difficult. But the really unique part about this is that they add extra conditions on top of the good, poor, and excellent. And I think these are to kind of break up the monotony of...
Say it. Say the thing you want to say. I know what you're thinking. Say it.
Want to not use macros.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the one.
Yeah.
Very much more about adopting the situation, adopting to the situation. Adapting to the situation. No, you can adopt it too if you really want to. And that actually ties in with a crafting update that they're doing, which is a little bit further down our notes, but it's very applicable here. They're making it so your next action is simulated. You can simulate your next action by basically it shows you all your possible actions and what the result will be. So you can try to make a more educated decision. Sorry, that's another third-party website that just went out of business, but it is what it is. Sorry.
Do we think this is only applicable for expert recipes?
No, I think this was completely separate on a different slide. I think this is for everything, but it just makes the most sense in expert recipes.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess starting out as a new crafter, it would be useful, but in regards to, normal crafting, where shit, you could still use a macro.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, well, I think the idea is to make it so that all the information you need to succeed without Googling something is available in the game.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that seems to be what the focus is. And I think it's a smart thing to do. I think it's a lot of information that's only going to make people want to Google it more, though. Like, if I'm brand new and I go to simulate my fucking crafting and I have 7 different actions I can use, and these are the 7 different things that are going to happen, I'm going to be like, I'm fucking Googling that right now. I'm not fucking clicking another button until I Google this fucking thing. So, if that's the intent, I like it, but people are still going to Google it. It's not going to change. It's the internet. Come on. Internet is the internet. Come on. We also know that for Ishgard, the Kupo of Fortune scratch-offs, they had mentioned these in a previous live letter. We didn't have a name for them yet. And when you turn in items, you'll occasionally earn these scratch-offs, which have even more rewards on top of them. So another reason to turn in items for Sky Builder scripts and for building Ishgard up. Just another thing on top of it. Ranking system they mentioned before. It's just a leaderboard like the Deep Dungeon. It's on the Lodestone, and it's going to be for every crafter, every gatherer. All of them have their own leaderboard, and it's updated every 10 days, which I think is the right decision. I was worried this was going to be like an every month or so thing. So every 10 days, and somebody brought up why 10 days. Apparently, like Japanese calendars, they don't think of it as like weeks. They like break it up into thirds of the month. Like the first 10 days, the second 10 days, the third 10 days. Mm-hmm. Which makes sense considering how we're always able to predict early, mid, late when it comes to patch descriptions. Like when they say, oh, it's going to come out there. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It has to like fit into like a certain time window for that. But then we have the rewards.
So in terms of... Yeah. In terms of rewards, we're thinking only titles for now, right? We don't know what else. Like I'm thinking a... Now, how do you feel about a crafting set that, you know, actually has stats on it versus just glamour?
I don't craft Sly. I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't care. I do think that them only mentioning titles. Here's the thing. So they only mention titles, which falls in line with what they said about it being a one and done. Like when you get this title for this, that's it. You don't need, there's no reason to cap out to be the top of that leaderboard again. A title fits that, but I don't feel like it's adequate. I don't care because I'll never get any of them, but I don't think it's adequate. Mm-hmm. I do think there are people who will very proudly wear those titles though, as only 10 of them.
Absolutely.
11 of them will be given out every 10 days per data center or per server. Sorry, per server.
Right.
Yeah, so at least we'll get an idea. And I have to think there's something more to that ranking system, though. I can't help but feel it.
Right.
You know. Then we get to probably your favorite part.
Woo! Woo! Yeah! We're going fishing, boys!
We sure are going fishing. So the first few changes here are not related to the new fishing content, where it's like they're lowering the levels of certain things. They're changing the tugging animation to make it easier to determine when to pull the fish.
Good.
Quality of life stuff.
I mean, quality of life, but it's still unnecessary, honestly. If you fished, if you fish for a while, I mean, I guess this is for newer players, but if you fish for a while, you know what each tug looks like.
An all-purpose lure is being added. And then it was really weird because they like moved away from talking about fishing immediately.
For a few minutes.
Yeah, because we got to come back to it. Crafters and gatherers are getting relics. Sky Steel tools. Primary tools that can be upgraded over the course of multiple patches.
So main hand, offhand.
I mean, I don't know if it's both, but at the very least, it's just you says primary tools right there. It literally, you typed in your notes primary. I'm going to this.
Yes.
I'm going to the digest.
Yes, I did.
I'm going to the digest. We're going there. We'll be adding a new content for Disciples of Hand and Land known as the Sky Steel tools, which are primary tools in the official digest. That's a main hand, by the way. That can be upgraded over the course of multiple patches. This may sound similar to the Zodiac or Anima weapons, but will not be quite as complicated or difficult. If you continuously work on it, your primary tools will gradually be enhanced. As a side note, brand new items will be used for Ishgard Restoration and Sky Steel tools, so we'd like to warn that stockpiling existing items will not have a purpose on this, or may not have a purpose on this content. Just a fair little warning for anyone who likes to do that. But yeah, I mean, it is like those just some not It's just you grind. You maybe grind a few recipes here, enhance it here or there, whatever. Real basic stuff. And then, again, still not going back to fishing for some reason, materia system changes. This was weird, and I know why they're doing this. They're making it so currently, if you spirit bond something to 100%, and it is an item that is eligible to be destroyed to create materia, you destroy it and make a materia. And it's a random materia based on the item level of the item, and, just...
You convert it.
Yeah, you're converting it. They're making it so the equipment will no longer be lost when you... create the materia, so the spirit bond will just go from 100% back down to 0. So it means that you can make a set that's specifically for grinding materia and grind materia with that set without having to constantly craft new sets.
I remember people who, at the beginning of Shadowbringers, the 80 crafter set, the high quality, they made a fuck ton of them just to convert them and made bank off.
Yep. As long as you're wearing a set that can actually be converted. Because here's the thing. I have a feeling that doesn't mean every item can convert into materia. I have a feeling that even though it doesn't make sense to do it this way anymore, they might not make every item able to be converted. So there are, I'm sure there are crafting and gathering items, you would know better than I, that cannot be converted. I'd assume there are. I like your fucking Skysteel tool. That obviously under normal circumstances couldn't be do that. So there, I don't know, but again, I don't know because I don't do any crafting and gathering. It's in the past. There's been sets that can't be converted for crafting and gathering. I guess the question is, will those now have a conversion option for the spirit bond? Because spirit bonding to 100% doesn't make any fucking sense. You can do it on every item, but only some items can be converted. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Right.
But, yeah, that's what it's going to be. And also, the crafting class requirement for melding will be removed. You still need one leveled. You just don't need all of them leveled. As long as one of them is 80, you can meld on everything.
This is nice, but it's kind of meh after the fact where, if you are crafting, 9 out of 10, you're probably Omni anyway, so meh.
Let me tell you about spending 40 million gil so you can meld everything at the beginning of an expansion. Hey, listen, I'm at 210 million, so I'm 14 million over what I started in the expansion. Okay, after spending the 40 million.
Didn't you get kits?
What? Yeah, that cost me 40 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could meld everything myself. That's why I did it. I don't need to do that next time. Sorry, Tequila, I'm out of fucking business. I don't need you anymore. So when the next expansion comes out, the Grand Company turn-ins all the way. There you go. Sorry, that's just the truth of the matter now.
So, back to fishing.
There we go, finally.
Finally. So, ocean fishing.
Did you say ocean?
Ocean.
There you go. Yeah. So when they first said this, I was like, oh, this is going to be another fucking big fishing bullshit thing where they're like, oh, look at this new fishing feature. And it's like, these fish are bigger. No, it's not. It's not at all. This is some Final Fantasy XI shit right here.
Okay, you got to explain this to me. What was fishing like in 11?
Well, fishing in Final Fantasy XI is, not unfamiliar to the way you would expect to fish in 14. Specifically, though, what most people remember of fishing, there were 2 port towns by the name of Selbina and Muhara, and between those towns was a boat, and the boat operated entirely in real time, which meant a boat docked every 15 minutes, it sat there for 3 minutes, and then you had to ride the boat for 15 minutes to get to the other location. Along the way, you could be attacked by pirates, you could fish, and random monsters would jump up, or it could be fished up by the players, and there's a bunch of quests there too. That's essentially what this sounds like, minus the monsters, and probably minus the pirates as well.
Okay. So yeah, basically what you said, you board a ship at a specific time, and you fish. I don't know why I put your. But yeah, you fish.
And you are fish.
If you...
Yeah. Your notes
I don't know why I
and
put that.
You are fish.
Yeah. Like,
so again, Sly wrote the notes, and it says, ocean fishing! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! Board a ship and fight at a specific time, and you're fish.
Yeah.
I love it.
You are fish.
You are fish.
Yeah, thank you. If there are enough people, you get a larger haul. You can use it to level. I don't think they said what level you can access it at, but
let's find out. Over to the official digest.
Yeah.
No, it does not have a level. Rather than creating a duty finder content that could be entered at any time, we wanted to implement something that you could sense time slowly passing by. So you'll be able to participate by boarding a ship at specific times. We'd like to gradually add more fishing spots in the future. So more ships and more ocean fishing locations.
Yep. And really, that was pretty much it for all the Disciples of Hand Land changes. And
ocean fishing is... Man, it's so weird to have to dive back into a almost 20-year-old MMO. And I mean, even just the concepts of MMOs back in the EverQuest era. To just make a boat that goes... Because that's where it is. It's between Limsa and Vesper Bay. So the one that goes to the Waking Sands, the shortcut. So it's that boat, but it only goes at specific times. So, yeah. It's weird, man. It implies that you're gonna want everyone fishing on the boat, like, to increase the rewards. It's not just like you will get a better haul if there's other people fishing, but it's an active effort that you want people to be making.
Right.
So I don't know what the fuck you'll walk away with. It's more fish. I don't know, but it's maybe some cool things there. Enjoy it, Sly.
I will.
Enjoy your ocean fish and chill while you watch The Witcher.
Yeah, that did come out. I need to start watching.
It did. Then they just wrapped up with a few final things that they're adding.
Yep. New elegant tombstones, of course. We talked about this earlier, but the rank increase for free companies. So this, like I said, this will probably get us another action use. So instead of
that's what I think. I think it's just going to be a third action slot for FC actions, which is great, by the way.
Good. The most.
Listen, that was my quote. That's my quote.
I don't know how to even describe how. I wouldn't say useless, but the most non-news.
I think my exact words were, "This is the most useless statement ever made in a live letter."
Yeah. So, view fellowships in the companion app. Show of hands in chat. How many people still use the companion app?
Sly, I'll do you one better. Show of hands. How many people still use fellowships? And that shit just came out 7 weeks ago.
I'd give that one a pass. Because it's more recent.
Sly, do you want me to log in and read you the names of the fellowships?
Oh no, I know them. I know about the names, but they're still getting used. Haha. At least they're still getting used. But yeah, like how many people still use a companion app? How many people know about it?
I can't help but feel like they want us to forget, but they don't want us to forget.
They don't. Someone doesn't. No, it's not all the devs. It's somebody. Hey, Yoshi P, can you slip this into your reading for the live letter, please? You want people to remember about the companion app, please, and thank you.
I'll say this: the companion app is giving them a second chance at the most simple thing that does not work with fellowships currently. There's no fucking pop-up notifications for fellowships that you can enable, disable, whatever. It's just you either look at it or it's invisible to you. If the fucking companion app doesn't have pop-up notifications for fellowships, I'm gonna lose my mind. I still won't use it, but if it's not there, I'm gonna lose my mind.
After that, new Leap of Faith courses in the Gold Saucer.
Yes, I love this because Ethis hates it and you hate it too, but I love it. What do you think we're gonna deface by jumping all over it?
It's fucking bearable. Like it's nothing like all that complicated shit you get in Kugane and then through the seasonal events and shit like that. It's bearable. It's quick. It's short. It's not all that Kugane Tower shit.
What are we gonna deface next? That's what I want to know. Just so I can talk to Ethis about it and be like, hey, I can't wait to take my shoes off and jump all over this fucking statue over here. Crystal Tower. Hell yeah.
Crystal Tower.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
I'm down for that. Let's do it.
Wow. Umbrellas will be added.
Why is that? Like, sometimes they just throw in details in live letters. I'm like, why? Why?
Hey, your words, quality of life.
But it's such a non-specific thing to say. There's nothing in the official digest to explain what that means. Because they showed us the Mary Poppins mount. Why didn't they just say an umbrella mount? That implies it's just regular umbrellas too. Is it just going to be like an offhand, a main hand? Like, what is it? I'm just saying, if you're going to give me part of the information, elaborate.
That's your line. That's where you're drawing the line.
Yeah, that's where I draw the line.
Okay. And then pretty much after that, this is where the memes come in, and we get creep up soaking.
The thing is like, it was so hammed up for the camera because he obviously knew he was already wearing it. He was sitting behind the thing the whole time waiting. But his reaction is probably how he felt watching it the whole time, just personified.
Yeah. And it was at this point that they did an interview with Soken. And this is like you say, we really, as like people in North America and Europe probably, can't really get invested to it too much because, language barrier. But it is translated. I would definitely give it a read on the Reddit Discord.
It's also in the official digest. There's an official translation for it as well.
There you go. Like other little tidbits of news, the free login campaign is going on right now. So if you return, you get 120 hours, free login hours. So yeah, feel free to come back at 14. For Charisma, maybe 30% off the digital upgrade. So if you already have Stormblood, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
The upgrade. Yep. So there you go. Pre-orders for the tactical assault, the left-handed thingy from what was it? Hori, I think.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah, that thing.
It doesn't matter. I have no interest in that tactical assault commander thing personally.
Yeah. Orders for the Shadowbringers, it gets released on March 31st. I think you can pre-order the Shadowbringers art book.
The Dulia Chai minion is pure art. She holds her husband in her arm, and her, sometimes when you idle for a bit, she does the bear hug.
Oh, God.
That's a work of art.
And then they showed off a actual FF14 Mahjong set, which is priced out about $170 US. I mean, it's only in Japan right now, but in terms of the yen conversion, around 170 US, which is a little bit too pricey for a Mahjong set, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't play IRL Mahjong, so I don't know how much one would cost. But yeah, that's around what it would cost in US to yen, I guess. And then, last but not least, FanFest.
Yeah. FanFest.
FanFest.
It's on the bag, remember? Tokyo. It's Tokyo. Look, see? It's on the bag. This is from last year's. What's on the bag?
Yeah.
Thank you, Square Enix.
So, there will be FanFest next year.
Well, does that mean they're going to announce a new expansion, Sly? I thought the game was ending with Shadowbringers.
There's going to be a FanFest next year.
You know how often I get asked that, Sly? Is the game done after? I get asked that a lot. A lot of people ask me, is Final Fantasy 14 ending? So many people ask me that.
You know what? I would tell them, yeah.
Yeah, it's done.
Sit there and It's done. This is the last hurrah. This is our goodbye tour. We are going to FanFest one last time to have a big fucking cry.
It's not even an announcement of an expansion. They're just gonna.
No.
In fact, we're gonna show up and they'll be like, "It's done. Go home." I don't know why you
we're
came.
just gonna get together, remember all the good times of bad, and have a big fucking cry, and that's FanFest. But yeah, there will be FanFest next year. In terms of North America, we don't know where. We can tell you that it will not be Vegas. Because Vegas doesn't, according to them, have a big enough venue.
That is not correct. Now, so here's the thing. That's what the unofficial translation said. I think it's more so there's no venue they could get in Vegas that isn't already booked. Because the last time we went, a venue that seats 10 to 15,000 or that accommodates 10 to 15,000 was already booked in that time. And it was for the marijuana convention that was in town when we were in Vegas.
I did not even realize that.
I did, because every time I got into a lift and I said I was there for a convention, like, "Oh, you're here for the weed convention?" And I'm like, "No, I'm here for video games." Like, they were like, "Could be the same convention." I think it was more
so
like
this leaves
THCCon or something. I don't know, TBD oil. I don't know what the fuck all that stuff is.
So this leaves a lot open to speculation. Some people are saying New York. New York makes sense.
No. There's no way they'll do it in New York.
No. Nobody does anything on the fucking East Coast. What makes you think they're going to fucking come
They
from
took the servers
Las
away
Vegas
from the East Coast. You think they're going to bring the convention there?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nothing ever happens on the East Coast. So somewhere in California, I don't.
So here's the thing.
Some people were saying Texas as well, which...
So the reason why people are saying Texas is the same reason people thought the servers were going to get moved to Texas, because it's central. I will say that Texas would be a relatively affordable place for people to fly into and get accommodations for compared to California.
I wouldn't mind Austin. I really wouldn't mind it.
I wouldn't mind Austin either. I think there's two options. One is what I want. One is what I think will happen.
Okay.
The one I think will happen is LA, because the Square Enix offices are in El Segundo, which would be like a 15-20 minute drive from the convention center. So I think that's the most likely thing to happen. Again, guys, there's no confirmation of that. This is speculation.
Mm-hmm.
What I want is San Diego, because it's better. I always want an excuse to go to San Diego.
You have two excuses to go to San Diego this year. Wow. And we don't even know a date, too.
Anaheim would make sense, too. I would understand it. Anaheim actually makes, I think, even more sense than LA. I think people would be better off going to the Anaheim one. I think, no, because the LA one's so close. Thing is, in LA sucks. I lived there. It sucks. All right? Getting to Anaheim from LA is not great either, but once you're there, it's fine. It's not like it's a struggle, but it's certainly a bit of a ride. I think Anaheim makes sense, though. I think okay. Anaheim or Staples Center, one of the two.
Now, really long shot possibility.
No, the answer is no.
Do you even know where I'm going?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
Oh, come on. What do you got?
I was going to say Vancouver.
No.
Okay.
The last thing they're going to want is for everyone going to need a passport. Don't get me wrong. Vancouver, part of North America, not happening. Certainly not going to happen. Here's the thing. I will be shocked if it is anywhere but LA or Anaheim. It could happen. I'm not saying it has to be those places. I would just be surprised. Yeah.
Seattle.
No, I don't think Seattle's... No. You don't want that. Seattle's a pain. I hate Seattle. Sorry, Seattle. I hate you. I like the board. I like the fish. I like the seafood down by the pier, and that's it. All right. And I like
FanFest Omaha.
FanFest Omaha. Oh, like the steaks?
Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Okay. This is good. The speculation's so good.
FanFest Omaha. Dude, I can get some steaks while I'm there.
We need to start a Twitter thread. FanFest location, possible locations for 2020, wrong answers only. Everything's a wrong answer.
Until somebody gets it right, and then they're disqualified.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that was it pretty much for the live letter, since we can't really talk much on the Soken interview. But again, there is an official translation on the digest, and of course the unofficial one from the Reddit Discord, as it usually is. There is one more thing to talk about, though, Sly. One thing that came out of the 14-hour broadcast that was not part of the live letter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Yoshi P rapping. Let's go. Did you see that clip where they had the wheel and he had to rap? And all he did was like, "Ayo, hey." He just said it like 17 times. And at one point he said Titania, and then he said that she was like, looked grumpy or something in Japanese.
I need to find this.
It's on Reddit. Just go to Reddit, type Yoshi rap, and that's it. Ayo, 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 Titania. Not Titania, Titania. Yeah. It was so fucking funny. He just kept laughing through the whole thing. He was not ready to rap. All right. No, that's not the thing we were going to talk about. We're talking about the Yokai Watch event. Almost makes me wish we were talking about that.
So that's the show, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out. We would like to thank our patrons of darkness.
I'd like to thank Yoshi P rapping. Ayo. Yokai Watch event's coming back, Sly. Soon, apparently. I don't know when, but soon.
Yeah.
And it's not just coming out again. There's new stuff.
Oh, shit.
There's a weapon for Samurai, a weapon for Red Mage, a weapon for Gunbreaker, and for me, a weapon for Dancer.
Boss, sign me up right now. Fuck me up, fam.
I don't know if that means new minions. I don't know if that means another new mount. I don't know if it means anything other than those 4 weapons, but at the very least, it's happening.
You know what this means, right?
What does it mean, Sly?
This means the return. The return of the Yokai Watch Samurai.
Oh, shit. Shit. Now when people show up to raid with their Yokai Watch on by accident. Oh, shit.
Yes.
No.
Let's go, boys. Yokai Watch Sam's a symbol.
So, I was pretty surprised to see this. I don't hate the idea, but I have one major concern. And this is not the concern you think it is.
Besides Yokai Watch Sam's? Okay.
Yes, besides that. Blue Mage is great at destroying fates. A little too good at it. We're going to run into an issue where they're going to have to make it so you can't do it on Blue Mage. Because Sly, listen. You know what's going to happen? Somebody's going to literally walk up to a fate, tail screw it, hit it once and kill it before anyone gets there.
Okay.
That is 110% going to happen if they don't make it so you cannot obtain the things on Blue Mage. Or they have to make it like level 70 fates, which would be fucked up but fucking hilarious. Sly, you seem so invested in it.
Invested for pure entertainment value, sure. But
Sly, that is not the sentence I thought was going to come out of your mouth.
what did you think I was going to say?
Who would ever put the words Yokai Watch collaboration and entertainment in the same sentence? Aloha. Don't talk back.
Aloha would, apparently. Yeah.
No, he started fucking scratching the carpet as soon as I said that. He's mad that we're talking about Yokai Watch is what's happening.
I think a few other people are too, so I think we should just wrap this up.
I might do it this time.
It's back. Yeah, so that's Stay at the Realm.
I might do it,
week,
Sly.
guys.
I might do it this time. Oh, there's the wrap.
Thank you.
Hey, yo.
Thank you.
Hey. He's so bad. Where is it? I gotta find the start. Where is it? Come on. Start rapping.
Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo, Tanya. Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. お前の名前ティタニア。
It's just laughing at it. We need a heyo emote.
They gave him a pretty fucking sick beat though. I ain't gonna lie.
They gave him a metronome, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then he says she looks grumpy or something in Japanese.
Hey yo, Titania.
Yeah, that's gonna be my new sub alert. That's gotta be a sub alert. That's all right. Favorite. All right. Bookmark done. That is being saved for audio clipping later. Hey. Man, I'm glad we didn't end the show before the Yokai Watch conversation.
Yeah.
That worked out. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I think now, Sly, I think we can end the show.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to end it.
All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. God damn, Sly, stop. I can't finish the show if you're laughing.
I can't.
Okay. All right. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching the show. I don't know what to really say anymore right now. The idea is I need to ask to see if I can acquire a guest for next week, because next week is obviously Christmas Eve would be Tuesday, and my birthday would be Friday. So either way, the show next week is still kind of tentative.
It's gonna like either way, it would be a special show. You have either Christmas Eve or your birthday. What do you want to do?
Well, no, I'm going out on my birthday. So I can't. So it has to be, if we're not doing it Tuesday, we're not doing a show next week. The following week is New Year's Eve. Where all of them line up on holidays this week.
How did we do that? Fuck.
We didn't make the calendar, Sly. We didn't 5 years ago look at the show and go, well, in 2019, I don't know if we'll be able to do shows in December. We didn't make time. We're not Alexander. We don't manipulate this shit. So I have a guest or two in mind for Tuesday. I'd like to do a show on the Blue Mage changes. I think it is worthy of a show on its own. That if somebody individually who is watching this, I think they may know who they are, who I'm going to ask after this. But I have one other guest in mind as well. And if we do a show next week, but just December is going to be tight. Between Sly's move, which fortunately went okay, between Christmas and New Year's, there's question marks about what our show schedule is going to look like for the next couple of weeks. So I'm just warning everyone ahead of time that that's going to be the case. That being said, thank you for watching this week's episode of State of the Realm. Thank you again to our sponsor, SteelSeries, and of course our patrons who have been scrolling through the screen in the top right. I have to update that list. The people who I know have added their names to that list in the past couple weeks are on there, but there's probably some names on there that for the holiday season have had to cut out some funds. And you know what? Don't worry. Hopefully you still enjoy State of the Realm. Doesn't matter if you're a patron or not. You should be enjoying State of the Realm. It's only there because YouTube kind of sucks. It's realistically the only reason why it's there. Of course, we have our patrons of darkness, who, there we go, the images are working. I was afraid they weren't working for a second. We have Khuja Cross on Jenova and Kurenai Oni, who have not provided me with the images in a while, but I don't mind, because I still get to shout them out every week, and they deserve it. Aloha, what are you doing? Stop biting my leg. He's trying to eat. He's hungry and he wants to eat human flesh. So that's Khuja Cross. That's his image. Let me see. Where's the other one? Here we go. He distracted me. I had a whole flow going for this. Aloha. And then that's Kurenai still standing next to Ethos because I can't find the Sly image for some. I have it. I know I have it.
Good for you.
Well,
Nice.
I will
Awesome.
find it, Sly. I will find it, and
good.
I will make it the background on your PC somehow.
All right.
I'll find a way. All right. Thank you to our patrons and our patrons of darkness. Don't forget to enter the Steel Series giveaway. If you're watching this, go to the YouTube comment or go to the YouTube description the next day. Find it. If you're watching on YouTube, great. Just scroll down. If you're listening on audio only, go to the YouTube video and just find the link there. It's free stuff. Who doesn't want free stuff? Huh? Ah, there you go. But anyway, that's going to be a wrap for us. Sly, where can they find you at, my friend?
In a new house. Woo! But no, you can find me on twitch.tv/Sly, aka Twitter at Slythefox. What?
It's free real estate.
Instagram at Slyakagreyfox. Pretty much everywhere. Here it's the same. Things will probably be getting back to normal next week because this weekend I'll probably be finishing unpacking and it'll be normal. It'll be like a normal looking house, I guess. So, sure. But yeah, just working on this shit. That's it. I'm home. What about you, Happy? Where can they find you?
You can find me, Mr. Happy1227 at Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I've been doing a lot of Dauntless lately. I haven't dived into the Borderlands 3 DLC yet, but I am doing a lot of Daunting. And I'm also working on stuff 14. I've been on a bit of a video spree with 14 stuff between Blue Mage and the Versus series and the various news that's come out, which I'm probably going to do some videos on the digest, the updated digest and some stuff like that. So we're hitting the grindstone pretty hard. It's gonna be my birthday in a week, also. So do a little birthday stream. Nothing too fancy because I got to go out that night and spend some time with my lovely lady. And that's what we're looking at for the next week. So thank you everyone for watching and hopefully enjoying State of the Realm this week. We're gonna go into a short post show, and then we will see you hopefully next week for a show about Blue Mage. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out, and we'll see you next time. Until then, take care.
See you next week, everyone.